So I could get more into other things that Elon has been called out by journalists and historians for misrepresenting about his childhood growing up in apartheid South Africa, but that's just kind of like a taste of things that didn't line up. All in all, and we'll get more into this, but just kind of keep this in the back of your mind, when Elon Musk opens up and shares factual or inaccurate trauma that happened to him, it is an attempt to play on the natural sympathy that human beings have within themselves. He's attempting to be relatable. Let's get more into like the concrete information. So we know for a fact Elon Musk always had the best education that money could buy. He started school at the Waterkloof House Prep School. Then he was enrolled into Bryanston High School before he was finally enrolled in private school, the Pretoria Boys High School, where he would ultimately graduate from. Unlike popular belief, he did not get straight A's in school by any means. Has presented himself to the world as a one-of-a-kind genius in the academic and tech world.
At this point, I think I know more about manufacturing than anyone currently alive on Earth.
Tweet that.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why Elon Musk says that his childhood was so traumatic is because he claims he was the victim of merciless bullying by his peers. Elon has described in multiple interviews a specific incident in school where he was allegedly jumped and beaten in a stairway within an inch of his life so badly he had to spend time in the hospital. And when he got out, he explained that his trauma was only compounded when he was berated by his father for an hour after returning from the hospital. Elon explained that he was bullied by his peers because he had a lot of big ideas, but he was the youngest in his class, he was the smallest in the class, and was just picked on. Mae Musk, Elon's mother, has also echoed the same reasons for her son being bullied, because he was the smartest, the smallest, the youngest. He was just probably about a year younger than everyone. But when Elon Musk was questioned about this situation, after Elon had publicly shared that after getting out of the hospital, being beat within an inch of his life, his father sat and screamed at him for an hour, Elon Musk wanted to defend himself. Before we get into Elon's justification for yelling at Elon after he was released from the hospital, let me just say, we know that Elon Musk is not a good dude, right? Everything this guy says we should take with a grain of salt, just like the rest of the Musk family. I do think what he said to justify berating Elon after he was released from the hospital is somewhat enlightening if it is true. Errol explained that the reason that Elon's classmates did not like him had nothing to do with him being the youngest or the smallest, but it had everything to do with how Elon treated his classmates. Errol described his son as a boy who felt like he was always the smartest person who walked into a room. And according to Errol, Elon was not afraid to let people know that he believed he was smarter than them. Errol explained that he was fully justified in berating his son after he was released from the hospital because Elon was beat up for being disrespectful to another student who had just returned to school after mourning the loss of his father, who had passed away from self-inflicted means. The student returned and Elon went after him and called him stupid. According to Errol, when he found out the reason behind his son being beat up, it didn't surprise him because Elon had a history of calling people stupid. We will probably never know the entire story or all the details of what occurred in that school stairwell, if Elon was the one being bullied or if he was the bully who was getting retaliated upon. But one thing that we do know for a fact is that in present day, as an adult, Elon Musk is absolutely, definitively a bully. Regardless if he faced bullying in school, that does not give him any excuse to become a bully in adulthood. But it would make a lot of sense if he has just been a bully his whole life and that's just normal to him. Anyway, moving on. So after Elon and Kimball graduated from high school, they had no desire to be drafted into the military. I can't blame them. I would not want to be a part of a apartheid regime either. After graduating, Kimball and Elon decided to move to their mother's country of origin, Canada, after they were granted passports. Now, go to part 3 because this is where things are really going to start getting interesting. Now, the Musk brothers have immigrated out of South Africa and they have moved to Canada, soon to be the United States. It's just where things start to get real spooky. Okay, go to part 3.